All right, what's up guys? Hope you're having an awesome day. So today we're going to be making a hitch for the Duramax. We got a new pick-a-bed camper, so we do not have a hitch that extends out past it so we can tow trailers and whatnot. So instead of buying one, because they're kind of expensive and I don't want to spend that much on one, and I'd like to see if I can make one that is stronger and holds the hitch a little bit more stable. So I'm going to make one. I got some supplies for that I will show you in a minute. And yeah, we're gonna kind of go from there and start fabbing this up, and I'll show you guys what we got going on. All right, so I'll show you guys what I have here on the bench as far as materials. Sorry about the noise. We got the AC rolling in here, fans going. Can't beat the AC, huh, Andy?
No, it's definitely worth it.
It is a nice feature. So we got this tubing. We're going to be using this as well as some 2-inch square tubing to go from that to the receiver on the pickup. Got some turnbuckles here for the sides, and then the uprights that I'm going to be doing, I will show you that a little bit later. Some chain for that, pins for a couple other receivers we're doing, bolts, and miscellaneous hardware. We got some scrap metal that we had laying around. We did have to go get some other material. Got some angle iron for the upper frame we're making, and some square tubing. This is 2x1 120 wall, and that is everything we're going to be using at the moment. We have, I think, a couple other things outside that we need to use, but we're going to go ahead and get started on making the stinger part of it. All right guys, so it's been a little bit since we've been working on this. We've just been kind of grinding away and getting it knocked out, but this is what we have so far. Set the flashlight here, hopefully you guys can see. We got the square piece of tubing that is welded into this receiver. That is the extension piece. I drilled holes all on the outside here, well Andy did, and then I filled it in with weld here and welded it all the way around, so that should be good and strong. And then we whipped up this plate right here. This is the hole for the chain hooks, the safety chains, and then this other hole is the eyelet for the turnbuckle. It won't have two turnbuckles on here like this. I'm missing one of the links for the chain the way I want to do it, so we just have these on here temporarily to see how it works. But I'll have one turnbuckle on each side and some chain, and they run back here to these tabs that they're just square 1/2-inch flat stock. Cut those up and welded those onto the factory receiver. So that is going to wrap up the lower part, or the lower portion of this build. I need to grind this all down and paint that still, but I'm working on the other part that I wanted to do this, and that's going to include this angle iron here. I'm going to put this along the top. I'll show you guys more of that when I get to that, and then I'll just have a brace that comes down here to create a triangle of sort, so it'll brace it a little bit better. All right guys, it is the next day. I got the rest of the hitch all knocked out, so I'll go ahead and talk a little bit about this piece that I did not show on camera yet. It is a piece of angle iron, and it just sits up here on the corner of the bed. I got my tab here for the turnbuckle that goes down to the hitch, and this is to brace it a little bit more and not let it sag or want to pull down. It'll help structure it up to the top and just give it an all-around better holding power or placement there. And then this angle iron runs across, and I got a couple 1-inch by 1.5-inch bar stock tabs here that butt up against here. And then since this angle iron is a 1/4 inch thick, it raises the bed height, and the camper will end up sitting on here. So I got a 1/4 inch thick piece of plywood in here, so it is the same height all the way across the floor. So the camper should stay in there and lay nice and flat with that. And then the camper laying across here will hold this piece in place. And that's pretty much how the hitch works. I think it turned out awesome. I'm very happy with it. I'm excited to see how it does. The idea behind this was to make something that's a little bit stronger than what's out there on the market. That way when we go on trips, if we want to tow the Tacoma on the car trailer, it is hopefully a little bit stronger and holds it in place quite a bit better than what is out there currently. So we're going to go ahead and try that out this weekend. We're going to go up to the mountains and do some camping and take the camper as well as the RZR, so that'll be a good little testing trip for it and see how it does. If I have any issues, I'll let you guys know. Make sure you drop a comment down below if you have any questions on this, and I will do my best to reply to it. Big shout out to Andy and Cassie for helping. They played a big part in this, you know, holding different things that I needed for measuring and random other stuff, so shout out to them. That's gonna wrap up this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.